So I have found a way to consistently BLJ in Super Mario 64 with the help of Kendrick Lamar. And I'm not joking, just hear me out. Before you decide I'm a crazy person, let me talk. And if you listen to what I have to say and you adopt what I'm going to teach you today, I think that your BLJs are going to be far more consistent than they've ever been. That's my theory. Let's just jump right into the workshop. So if you don't know about the BLJ, it's the most notorious speedrunning trick in Super Mario 64, and one of the most notorious speedrunning tricks in the history of speedrunning. And essentially what you do is you bypass the 50-star door here by long jumping backwards at a specific rhythm until you skyrocket up the stairs and just like blast through this door without needing 50 stars. And this trick has ended a lot of runs. It's ended a lot of my runs. It's ended a lot of everybody's runs. If you've been running 16-star, you've had a run die to BLJs. It sucks. And over the past year that I've been doing Mario 64 runs, I've been trying to figure out a way to get consistent at this because it's really annoying. And I found a few things. First of all, I found a video by a guy named JS64. Shout out to JS64 for this video detailing that the ideal BLJ mashing speed is 600 beats per minute. 450 has been touted around by a lot of people. A lot of people say it's 450. I mean, this guy did the math, and he did like a lot of math. And it seems like 600 is around the closest approximation that we can find to being the ideal mashing speed. So when you do BLJs, there's a misconception that you're trying to mash the A button as fast as you can to get up those stairs. And that's just not true. That if you just mash as fast as you can, you're probably going to have a bad time. There's a chance it's going to work out, but it's a chance. It's basically a lottery ticket if you're just mashing as fast as you can. So with that in mind, 600 beats per minute. Okay, we got to tap that fast. That's not very easy. This is what 600 BPM sounds like. As you can see, that's quite fast. Also, how the hell am I supposed to recall 600 BPM when I'm in the middle of a 16-star run? How am I supposed to do that? How's anybody supposed to do that? Unless you're Green Suigi. I have no idea how he does it. But I found a way that works for me. Okay? And this is going to require some very basic music theory. But if we take 600 BPM, right? And we divide that by 8, we get 75. Now, with 75 in mind, mathematically, that would mean that a song at 75 beats per minute would have 30-second notes that essentially come out to 600 beats per minute, right? Now, with this in mind, one song that is very popular that a lot of people know, and if you don't know it, then just look it up. You've probably heard it before. Humble by Kendrick Lamar. Humble, I mean, it's the 8th track off of his 4th album, Damn. It was the first single that he released for Damn. I mean, if you were there, you remember how hype it was, man. It was insane. But that's beside the point. You probably know Humble, okay? I think everybody does. And Humble is going to be the key that unlocks our BLJs. So I made a close approximation of the song because I'm not trying to get sued, okay? But here's a cover of Humble just to give you an idea of the tempo and what it sounds like. Okay, so that's Humble. But that alone is not going to be the key. The key, of course, is 30-second notes. So here is that same little sample. However, I've put 30-second notes over it so that you can hear exactly how fast we're going to have to tap. Okay, now with all this in mind, I was saying before, it's tough to hit 600 BPM on a controller, okay? It's very difficult. However, I have a method, the 2-finger tap, which I don't know how popular this is. In speedrunning, I actually have no idea, but I'm just going to give you guys an idea of how, like, what it looks like when I do my BLJs. So, 600 BPM. What does that mean? That means anytime I'm headed upstairs, I've already got Humble going in my head, dude. I'm already listening to Kendrick Lamar's Damn in my head. Now, look, To Pimp a Butterfly was the better album. Good Kid, Mad City, better album. But Humble, I mean, look, it's a sick song. It's a very good song. It's a fucking banger. So, it's not the worst thing in the world to have Humble going in my head. But anyway, here's what it looks like. I'm going to do my best approximation of 600 BPM with the 2-tab method. So I'm going to be drumming my index and middle finger on the A button of my Nintendo 64 controller. All right, so here we go. There we go. Boom. And then we'll go up to the other stairs. We'll do the same thing. There we go. And it's just like that. That's the method. Now, I'm not going to lie, okay? I did have a couple of mistakes before I had a take where I got it perfectly. This is a consistent method. It's not a cheat code necessarily. This is just a really good guidance for getting this. You know what I mean? So, like, There are going to be some times where like that, look, that was not perfect, but we still ended up getting it anyway because it's all about the tempo. It's not about how fast you're mashing. It's about consistency in BLJs. So as long as you're mashing at that speed, it's going to be fine. And another thing to note is that you want to wait until, and I mean, this is like BLJ 101 kind of shit, but you do want to wait until Mario's actually making contact with the stairs until his ass is on the steps. That's when you want to start the humble thing, right? Like if you miss, right, and you do not latch and you're not getting Mario into BLJ mode, you would restart your taps from the top. My brain might just be like too smooth to do that, but usually I just kind of brute force my way through it and just keep tapping at 600 BPM and just pray that I'm gonna latch on. But if you really wanted to sweat this, you would just keep restarting, right? Like here's what I mean, right? Like say it doesn't latch, you would just stop, restart, right? There we go. See, that's a good example of what I'm talking about. And I could be wrong about this. I'm no Super Mario 64 expert. I'm really not. Okay, there are going to be people watching this who are so much more knowledgeable about Super Mario 64 than I am, right? So they're welcome to chime in with their input if they have any fixing to do in any of the stuff that I'm saying. Because again, I'm no some 64 guru. I'm just a guy. I'll do one more. I'll just do one more just to flex, man. Just because, look, first try. Watch. Boom. I wanted to watch Wild World. Ignore that. Ignore that. The important thing is that I got the BLJ, right? So that is the method. Look, I sincerely hope that this helps you. And if you don't know much about Kendrick Lamar, if you don't know that song, that's perfectly fine. You've got a really cool homework assignment, and that's to go listen to Humble by Kendrick Lamar like 100 times on repeat until it is ingrained in the folds of your brain. Which, again, it's a nice homework assignment because that song is an absolute flamethrower. And there you go, man. That's the Humble method of BLJs. It's an Over the Music original. I think. I don't think anybody else is talking about this. I don't think that there's anybody else who's come up with an idea as stupid as this one. But it works for me, and I hope it works for you. So best of luck out there. Go get a PB.